You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Well, hello, Kat. How are you? Yeah, I know. You got to take each day one step at a time. I've been pretty busy out here, and everybody's keeping me well entertained, and giving me a lot of stuff to ponder and to work on. So it's kind of a mixed bag on all kinds of things that's jumping around this world. Yeah. Well, at least you're getting closer to getting out, and so you can join us out here, and we can work and help others to be at ease and get out soon. Oh, wow. So she's looked at as a sexual predator? Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I guess I can understand how the jury felt in that situation, because, I was on the Kevin Coe trial when they wanted to commit him for treatment, and we were able to, decide that he was still a threat to society, and even though he served his full term, he needed to be supervised for an extended period of time. And I feel for your friend, and I do believe that once people serve their time, they should get out. Well, yeah, okay. I'm all for that. If you want to help her when you get out, I'll look over the evidence and the circumstances and stuff along with you, and give you my side of the story, and together we'll see what we can do. It's just that it's kind of hard for me to disagree with somebody after they go to trial and find out that they need to be kept in custody. Oh, hey! I will be happy to give you my perspective on all of this. I'll look over her file and see what kind of conclusions I come to on the matter, and I think it'd be a nice little discussion for us. Okay, that's good. Yeah, just send me the information, and I'll take a look at it, and I guess I can sort of compare it to the jury that I was on, all those years ago. But I don't know. There's just there's a lot. I really do believe in the criminal justice system here, and it's got a lot of good points, and it's not perfect, like anybody will tell you. It's just that it's one of the best that we've got out there right now, and I'm going to try to get involved in helping innocent people get out, because I know sometimes when people are people are convicted just because of what somebody says, it could change through time, when the person finally feels remorse for telling a lie and getting somebody thrown in prison. But with modern technology, I know when I was a
You have 60 seconds remaining.
criminal investigator back in the 80s, a lot's changed. They even removed the Vietnam vet from the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, because they were able to identify him, and it's an empty spot, and I don't think we'll have any more unknowns, ever since the Korean War. So with modern technology, it's going to be tough to get false convictions.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
But yeah, that's going to be a very exciting topic, and maybe I can talk to your friend. Does she feel like making any statements or sharing any of her experiences or something, that would be a great story to share. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing your information. So I will definitely talk to you later. You take care of yourself, and good luck with your. Welcome to AQS Inmate Call. I'm your host, Joel Wilborn, and that was my conversation with Kat Lawson, who just told me that a friend served her sentence and the prosecutor decided that she was still a danger. She was a sexual predator and shouldn't be released. And she went to trial, and the criminal justice system found that she is, in fact, still a danger to society, and decided to have her placed in a medical facility for her safety and for the safety of the community. And I was on a trial. I was on a jury back in 2008. It was a few years ago, and we had a serial rapist by the name of Kevin Coe. And he had served his 25 years, and I really didn't know too much about him. I wasn't into, crime stories and people that were locked up or anything. This was before I really got into all of this stuff. It's just that for me, if a person commits a crime, that person should be locked up. And this is not to say that the person's innocent, or that the person was cheated out of a good trial or anything. I'm just saying that if a person knowingly, willingly goes out and deliberately commits a crime, this person deserves some kind of punishment. I just don't believe in lengthy punishments, and I don't believe that people should be, forced into a plea deal, especially if the plea deal is reneged on. My fiance had a plea deal, and they backed out on it. And she had already pled guilty, so she can get a lesser sentence. It just didn't quite work out. It was just nasty. So there's things that just don't sit right with me. And when I was going in to be selected for the jury, they were asking if I knew anything about him, and I remember seeing something on the news magazine Dateline. And I know one of our local reporters, news people, was one of his victims, but that I really didn't know too much about it. So I was an ideal candidate to choose for the jury. And during the trial, I was just thinking, this person's already served 25 years. So 25 years ago, they came to the conclusion that he was guilty and that he needed to be locked up for 25 years and then let out. And so I would listen in on the trial, and I would take my notes, and when we went back to deliberate, we would talk about it and take a look at some of the evidence, and and listen to the witnesses and the prosecution and the defense. It was just a typical trial. It was a big, high-profile trial, but we weren't allowed to watch the news, read newspapers, or even talk about it. So we were just limited to what we knew from the trial and from each other. And it just kept bouncing in my head. He served his 25 years. Now, when I advertise on my site about the things that I do, that people are being locked up and their rights are being violated, or they're being dehumanized, or there's discrimination, medical mistreatment, they're getting diseases and ailments and injuries that they would not have gotten had they gone to prison, or had they not gone to prison. And, the comments I would get is, well, these people did the crimes and they must do their time. Okay, the crime part, the people I work with, none of them disagree with that. Yes, the crime was committed. Yes, they're guilty. Yes, they should be sent to prison. The time, I think that's relative. Because if you're sitting in prison, no judge is going to say, I want you to go to prison and be discriminated against. I want you to go to prison and I want them to treat you as someone who is less than human. I want them to stick you in little cliques. I want them to deny you proper medical care. No judge has ever said that. And I don't even think the jury would want that, and I don't think most of members of the public would want that. It's just those haters that were reading my post, they wanted to say something like that. And yeah, serial rapist deserves a harsh punishment, not to be treated less than a human citizen, a human being, a person. So I figured after 25 years, he needed to get out. Yet, when I was there in the trial, there were things that were said that I took in. I was really paying attention. It's just that my focus wasn't on keeping him in there. It was trying to find out if the defense could convince me that he needed to be out, that his time was served. And I'm not into this separate but equal stuff, where you commit a crime, no matter how terrible it is, and then you're immediately thrown into a class, like a title. You're an ex-con, or you're a serial rapist, and this is going to have to stick with you for the rest of your life. If you're sent to prison and you serve your time, that it should be pretty much a done deal. It's like you walk onto a car lot and you find a car that you like and you pay the full price and you drive off the lot. You shouldn't have people knocking on your door to pay for that car. It's paid for. It's a done deal. And when a person walks out the door in a prison, I believe it's a done deal. It should be out of the way. I don't like being classified as a black man in America. I would rather walk out and have people see me, if I'm going to have a title, as an American. So when I go up to Canada, I'm an American. If I go down to Mexico, I'm an American. If I go over to Europe, I'm an American. That's fine with me. But when I walk into America, when I'm walking down the streets in an American city, why do you want to see me as more detailed than American? Why am I a male or a black ethnic person or a Christian or a person who is non-handicapped. I don't know. Why do we have to separate people? I can understand doctors separating us, but the general public should not put titles on people. And so after 25 years, he should walk out, and he should get back into society and not be dumb enough to do it again. So I'm looking at this trial, and then it comes to the point where we're sitting in the jury, deliberating, figure out what we're going to do with this guy. I say 25 years, he should get out. And they're saying, are you crazy? Why should we let him out? You see what he was doing. You see the letters, the way he was treating staff members, his attitude, what the specialists were saying about him, and the witnesses, and then that stuff from the prosecutions popped up, something that I tucked away, and the other members of the jury, they were able to convince me that there is enough reason to believe that he could be a danger. And if we could predict who's going to be a danger and who's not based on past actions, we wouldn't have as much crime because we'd be locking people up quickly. But when you have people that say, we just don't see any improvement with him, he's not showing that he is really, after 25 years, ready to go back out into society. There's people out there clever enough to make it look like they're going to be safe and they'll get out and recommit a crime. And then there's those like Kevin Coe that just don't really show that desire to get out. So, in the end, I just said, yeah, you're right. All these things do make sense. I was looking mainly at the defense, trying to figure out if they could come up with something. And I was relatively convinced until I remembered the things that the prosecutors put out there and was reminded, by the jury that, this is real. And even though now I still believe that people should serve their time and get out and go, one of the reasons we have the justice system, one of the reasons we have the penal system, is to see to it that people are ready to return to society and do what we can to help them to get to that transition. And there are a few cases, few circumstances where people just have to stick around. And that's something that goes through my mind. So it's going to be hard for me to help Kat's friend in a way that Kat wants me to. Because I'm sure Kat is trying to get this person to be seen in a different light. Maybe she's been misrepresented. Except in a case like this, it could just be the current actions, the current state of mind, the way she reacts to questions or circumstances and situations. There could be a lot of things that convince the people that she needs to stay in there. And also, there could just be some political side to this where a person just wants to look like the good guys, like we had this terrible sexual predator that we're going to keep locked up forever, and so I'm the good guy because I did that. There's a lot of things I could look at. So I'll keep an open mind. I have to. I've been on several juries. So, and I've even been a criminal investigator. So you have to keep an open mind. And, once a decision is made, I pretty much stick with it. I will completely support my decision and those of the jury. They did a good job convincing me that the prosecutor was right and that I should see it in a different way that I'm used to, that I should open up my mind and be a little more fair to everybody. And that's why we have this justice system. That's why we have juries. That's why we have judges. That's why we have investigators, to try to do the right thing. And I want to make sure that people get the right sentence too. Let's not lock a person up for the rest of their life just because we're not willing to do the extra work to find out this person really is deserving of that. Follow the evidence. The evidence doesn't lie. The truth doesn't lie. So I've got a lot to think about here. I got to set my personal opinions and stuff aside, just like I did in the Kevin Coe trial. And I have to listen to both sides. I have to examine the evidence, and I have to ask questions, and I have to consult with people and see if this is something worth fighting. So there's a lot involved in helping people. We don't just go out and a person pays us and we help to get them out of prison or something like that. There's a lot to look at. And when the system is properly used and the procedure is followed and the evidence is allowed and examined, we can get some good results. And I'd much rather have 8 out of 10 good results as opposed to 6 out of 10. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you go out and discuss this. Throw your support and work for solutions. If you're going to complain about something, come up with a better way of thinking. A lot of people say, if you think of a better way to do this, then let's do it. So let's do some open discussion. Let's learn from each other. Go out, have a great day, and make wonderful memories for tomorrow.